Hey everybody, welcome back to Gun Tote Minnesotan. My name is Andrew. What you're looking at here is a BCA 300 Blackout gas gun. Happens to be like a mid-length operation. And I have a Timney trigger in there. It's a flat face trigger. This one happens to be the 2-stage variation. BCA did send that out to the channel and I'm very appreciative of it. It's been running very well. It actually performs quite well with supers and subs. I'll get to that later. The trigger has been very reliable, very predictable, and the Ride-On optic on top. This is the 1-10, and I really appreciate this 1-10. Thank you to Ride-On for sending this out to the channel. I like MRAD optics, and when it comes to LPVOs, I trust this one enough that this happens to be my home defense rifle. This is what I would protect my home with if I got into a serious, life or death situation where I need to defend life and limb on my property. The light is an Olight Odin. Thank you to Olight for sending that out to the channel, and something that I actually really use, guys. This is my real life home defense rifle. I trust this for both hunting and self-defense. Now, moving to the end. This is the bit where I've done the most homework with, actually, when it comes to cans and suppressors. This was a newer thing to me in the last 2 years where I just didn't have a lot of expertise or time behind cans. In the last 2 years, I've got thousands and thousands of rounds, as is the case with everyone who gets a can. It just makes you want to shoot more, and then you have to practice and try some things out. So what I'm going to do today is show you a little bit of usage with this can. I'm going to talk about the report, the actual sound to the shooter behind the rifle. That's mostly what I'm considering. And also my opinion about the length, the diameter, the flow-through technology cap. I'm going to be focusing mostly on that in this particular review, maybe more in the future on the caliber-specific flat end cap that does not have the flow-through technology. But this is a direct thread. I really like the can. It's been running very well on here with just about every ammo, and gas pressure seems to be very consistent, easy to clean out can, all that, yada, yada. I like the can, but I want to actually show you a little bit of the usage and how practical a can be. One can like this that can cover so many applications, and it doesn't cut down on the effectiveness of your rifle. I think it actually improves it. All right, even with a full-length shusher on there, I prefer to still wear hearing protection until I know what those decibel readouts are going to look like. It's going to be quieter than any other can that I've run right now. I'm confident of that. I just want to be careful with my ears. That's pretty quiet. Wow. Yep, pretty quiet. Wow. All right, let's take the ears off. That's impressive. These are supersonic loads. Yeah, I've got a shed right next to me that sound is bouncing off of, and I'm going to say that's still super comfortable. I am really impressed with that. That's not with the flat cap on the end. That's with the flow-through design or style end cap, which allows gases to, extract. It's still running well. Like my gun, my 300 Blackout, can shoot subs and supers really reliably. I'm so happy with that. And it looks like, I don't see any mirage. It's not even warm. My goodness. That's pretty exciting. Yeah, I'm excited. And zeroing this optic, is going to take me 3 seconds now just to finish that up. I'm going to go ahead and do that and come back. All right, let's see how the Quiet Carrot likes these. This is a 220 grain Match King bullet. They should be totally subsonic. And if the supersonic is basically hearing safe to me, then these 220 grain are going to be just silly quiet. That would be my guess. We'll find out here. I know it's hard to tell from the phone, but I'll give you my honest appraisal after taking a few shots with it. All right, load up this 220 in my 10 round magazine, YouTube. Very much so a 10 round magazine. And I'm going to have to guess on a hold here. I'll go for the big round. Well, that's pretty quiet. Probably not enough pressure to function, these guys. The other subs ran perfectly. I'm gonna guess that these are a little slow. Need a little more back pressure, perhaps. I think it actually loaded. Yeah, it did. Yep. How about that square? Let's go for that square. A little low. Where are those going? A little bit off. Yeah, it started feeding them. Maybe I just need to put a little gas into the can. First one definitely had that hiccup on it, but yeah, that could have just been because of the empty can. Who knows? The rest of them seem to run just fine. A little higher quality subsonics maybe won't have that issue. Let's go back to the big circle. Yeah, those are all running fantastically. Crazy quiet, by the way. That is a big quiet carrot on the end, but it works really well. Not even hot. I'm very happy with that. So when it comes to different cans, lengths, end caps, calibers, rifles, yes, some of the homework is that you have to do homework. You have to study and research a little bit to know what's likely to work, and then you need to go to the range with a good amount of that ammo, like what I'm doing right now. These are subsonic 220 grain. I just want to know if it will run this system well. If not, I have other ways to work around that. But I do my homework to find out what is going to work well, get that ammo, practice with it, run it a good amount of time so I can have high confidence in it. This is my home defense rifle. This is what I leave on 1 power. I can leave the illumination on. That's why I've got a weapon light on here. And this can is going to protect my ears or my family's hearing in the event of a horrible tragedy where somebody is trying to take our lives or hurt us. So yes, you do have a little bit of homework. But if you're a gun guy, that's half the fun. And if you're somebody who's serious about self-defense or protecting your family, then it's not that much work to do, just to make sure that it's reliable. Let's find out what this stuff does. Okay, it hits about a target low, which is because it's shooting real slow, but it seems to be running a little bit smoother than the last one. Okay, so one target, hopefully you can hear that with my microphone on. One target higher. Can is not even hot. There's definitely gonna be some fumes coming out of it. And I'm not getting gassed out. I'm totally not getting gassed out. Putting this flow-through style end cap on with a gas gun, shooting 220s. I can shoot supersonics and the gun is not abusive or violent. And I can shoot those Federal 220s. And I've done quite a bit with the previous shorter model of this can. I've done quite a bit with that one, and it ran flawlessly all the time. It was like a crazy reliable rifle for whatever reason. And I think this one's mid-length, not rifle length. So it doesn't abuse me in 300 blackout when I use supersonics, like all of them. And then when I shoot subsonics, as long as I have, I think there's about 4 brands that I've stuck to for subsonics, and they all seem to shoot reliable and consistently, somewhat accurately out to 200 yards. Beyond that, it's anybody's guess, actually. But the can is doing its part. No baffle strikes, no injuries on this guy. It's doing just fine, and I really like direct thread. That's just the way that I go most of the time. I might try some of the hub mounts in the future. Anechoic does have hub mount compatible parts and pieces. Go to their website because that's where you're going to find out more information about what you can do if you need to quickly attach and detach your cans. Now, as far as cleaning and maintenance of a can like this, I'm going to tell you what I do. What I do is probably more than what you need to do. I like to clean my cans every 300 rounds, even center fire cans. I like to clean them every 300 rounds. One of the reasons for that is I never want to get in the habit of leaving cans basically fixed on like my gas guns where there's corrosion or I have issues down the road with lead lock. I like them to be able to come off and on because I direct thread with relative ease. I don't want to shoot my suppressors off. I don't want to have to do any of this other nonsense that other people get into when they don't clean their cans. I don't think it's that hard to keep up with it, and I probably shoot more than most people do. That's my regiment. I like to keep my cans clean. I like to know how they operate. Some people want their cans to get full and dirty, and they want to know how it operates when it's dirty, and I get that too. But most of my guns, I clean the barrels, I clean the cans, the bolt carrier groups, I guess, go a little longer, but I like to clean them every 300 to 500 rounds. And it seems like a good ratio for me to keep things operating, and I know how they're supposed to operate. I know what the weight is going to be generally. I just don't like leaving them super long time. I know you can shoot supersonic ammo and you can go longer than what I'm doing. Technically, you could probably go a lot longer. Some people do. And cans are technically disposable. Someday, all cans, they just burn out. It's what happens when you're putting a lot of heat and velocity and mass through those cans with pressure. Eventually, all cans will burn out. But I think you can probably improve the life of your can, or the effectiveness, the utility, or the ability to take it on and off by just cleaning it more often. So my recommendation is, when it comes to anechoic cans, if it's lead and you're shooting like rimfire with their X22 can, clean it often. It's a good idea. Just clean it often, otherwise they get leaded out. And if it's a center fire can, but you're shooting a lot of subsonics, or in like 9mm, just doesn't get very hot, doesn't blow everything out, I like to clean them more often. So that's what I do. I use break free and it works every time. All right, let's see about some subsonics. And I'll shoot it on 2 power. 2 power should be good. Oh man, so much foot pounds, so much knockdown power. That target scares me a little bit because it's not hanging right, so I'm going to skip that one. Go to the 4-incher. No problems. How about to the red dot? Red dot, so I have to aim a little high with the scope, because I'm only shooting at 35 yards actually. Right here is 35. And with the scope, I have to, or with the red dot rather, I have to aim a little bit low, 3 inches low from where I'm at least. A little more. A little more. Yeah. Let's go with this one. Jeez. That's pretty cool. Okay. Back to the scope. Man, I feel real ready for hunting season with this system. This is going to be really fun hunter. All right, guys, I use the Savage 110 PCS with an X-Tar sling, actually, and an Anechoic 30 caliber. This is their long can. They just sent this out. This is the first animal I've killed with it, and it was incredibly quiet. Hearing safe in the woods even. No problems at all. 300 blackout. What I ended up using was one shot of this Palmetto State Armory sold Saber. This is black tip, 125 grain. It's pushing 125 grain bullet at about 2,100 feet per second. Plenty of foot-pounds energy inside of 100 yards, kind of like shooting an old 30-30. I did use the Zero Tech. This is the Trace Advanced, and it looks like I shot it on 1.5 power. I haven't touched it since. 1.5 power was plenty enough at that distance. And I have the O sight on top of it. I would have run the red dot, but I actually had a second to shoot it off a tripod. I left it in the car, but I used the Lux Gun tripod. And what else here? Well, there's a deer, a little 2-year 6-pointer. Good meat. Thank you to all these brands who threw things out to the channel. And one more. Shout out to Buck. I used their Packlight kit. These are S35 blades. They're really high quality, and I found them to be absolute razors. This one's a little bit more nimble, but I ended up using this one a lot more than you would think. Really easy to clean off. Micarta handles, comes with a nice convenient sheath as well. And this package is probably indispensable for hunting. Really appreciate it. Thank you to all the brands who sent something out and helped me have a successful hunt this year. Well, there you have it, everybody. I don't have a lot of extra verbiage to add to this video. Yes, I like the can. It's a great hunting can. I actually use it for hunting and self-defense. As I already said, if you weren't skipping through the video, you probably heard me say that a lot of times. It does not change the point of impact significantly. It does cut down on the sound significantly, and it allows excess material, things that I don't want blowing back in this gas gun, it allows them to flow out. Works that way with a bolt gun, works that way with a gas gun. If I really need ultimate suppression and I'm going to run a bolt gun, maybe I'll consider getting the caliber specific end cap and switching to that. Chances are it's already working really good how it is. I don't need the caliber specific end cap in my application just yet. Whether I was running this on my 300 Blackout pistol, which I took the deer with, or this home defense AR-15 in 300 Blackout, they're really, really good to go, guys. A huge fan of anechoic suppressors. I've done a number of reviews in summer, winter, short cans, long cans, rimfire cans, centerfire cans. I've done reviews on a lot of this stuff, and I'm gonna go ahead and post those around now so you can watch that. Highly recommended. Check out my links down in the comment section.